I'm quite a big Henry Selick fan, so I was really looking forward to watching Monkeybone. This is the last of his feature films that I have to see. And I had heard the name now and again mentioned, so I actually assumed it was quite a well rated, well received film. And I was watching it and I thought, yeah, there are things that I really like, but it's not amazing. I will, of course, expand on that in a moment. But after watching it, I went online to look up some information and read some reviews, and I was quite surprised, really quite surprised to learn that it's actually not very well received at all. It's got a very poor Rotten Tomatoes score, and the IMDb rating is 4.8 out of 10, which is not the worst score, but anything under 5 is generally considered as not very well received, and that's across 18,000 reviews and ratings. So I feel like it's pretty fair to say that that's generally how it's received. I would have given it a 5, 5.5 maybe. It was released in 2001. I will be honest, it feels more dated. That's not necessarily a big problem, but I felt like it certainly felt a lot older. It's directed, of course, by Henry Selick, written by Sam Hamm, based on the graphic novel Dark Town by Kaja Blackley. And it stars Brendan Fraser as our protagonist, Stu Miley. And Stu is he's a cartoonist, and there's this really interesting line. I don't know if this is true, but it really made me quite fascinated, where his girlfriend explained that he used to draw with his right hand really dark images depicting his nightmares because he suffers nightmares. And she told him to put the pen in his other hand, and when he did that, he started to create cartoons in a different style. And I just thought that was such a fascinating concept, and I'd love to know if anybody who draws has done that and kind of what the results were. But that's a minor thing, but the point is, there are things in this that I found fascinating. The main narrative focuses on Stu being in a coma, and while he's in a coma, he is in this, well, figment of his imagination, but it's this nightmarish fairground with characters with all different kinds of appearances. There's one who is an anthropomorphized cat. There are various kind of pigs and other people not wearing masks. Their heads actually, fantastically, very well done, look like the creatures, and all of these other kind of beings. There are historical figures that pop up now and again, and that aspect of it I actually really enjoyed. For me, anything set in a fairground or when it's dark and twisted and creepy, it just blends together so well, and I really enjoyed that. I didn't love it, it wasn't perfect, but it certainly did appeal to me. And there's this gorgeous shot that we get to see of the entire fairground, and it kind of like unfurls and it curls in on itself, and it's amazing. It's really beautiful. There's also a gorgeous shot of Stu quite early on lying on the hospital bed, and he's in the coma, and he enters this dream world, and the way that this is portrayed is the hospital bed we see underneath it, as if we're looking through Stu's closed eyes, and the bed just goes deeper and deeper and deeper underground, and it just looks amazing. So there are some shots in this that I thought were really very good and very appealing, but the narrative itself is kind of repetitive, and also the character Monkeybone I hated. I absolutely hated. It's a creation of Stu's. It's a monkey character, and he plays quite a prominent role in Stu's coma nightmare, and I just didn't like the character. I didn't enjoy disliking him. I just found him to be very annoying, and obviously I get the impression he's not meant to be that likable, but honestly, I didn't like the character at all, and considering he plays such a prominent role in it, it meant that at times I really wasn't enjoying it. The casting is very good. Brendan Fraser is very good as Stu Miley. I really enjoyed his performance. We also have Bridget Fonda, John Turturro, Whoopi Goldberg, personal favourite of mine. So the cast is very good. The performances all round are very, very enjoyable. No problems there whatsoever. I don't know what the budget for this was. Will IMDb tell me what the budget is? Not offhand. Oh, here we go. Apparently the estimate budget, according to IMDb, was $75 million. And I expect the majority of that was spent renting the fairground equipment, because it really is colossal and fabulous, and the roller coasters look amazing, and I want to go there. I really want to go there. So even though it felt quite dated, it did also feel quite big budget. There were some things that definitely couldn't have been done on a shoestring, and I think It did all right. Apparently it grossed at $5,411,999 in US and Canada, with a worldwide gross of just over 7.5 million. So maybe it didn't reap back what it put in. Often films don't, of course. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it well enough. I didn't love it, but I seem to have liked it more than a lot of people. But I have to point out that it's my kind of film. Henry Selick is my kind of director, and he often creates images that really appeal to me. So I knew there would be things in Monkeybone that I'd love. Unfortunately, I wasn't expecting to not like Monkeybone as a character, but it wasn't bad. I'd recommend it if you're a fan of Selick or you like that kind of film. But I'm not going to say it's one of those films that you need to see before you die. It's good, but it's not great.